Welcome back, TCG Addicts, to a brand new video. So today we're going to be going over this deck right here, what you see. It's actually a Soul Striker deck. It is actually made by another person in the group. His name is Kory, and this is the deck we're going to be going over. Just kind of a nice little anti-meta rogue deck. But before we get into that, if you're a new subscriber or you're new to the channel, please hit that like comment down below, hit that like button down below, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. Now, if you're also a returning member and you haven't checked out any of our Facebook or Patreon pages, the links are down below. So let's go ahead and jump right into this deck. We're actually going to start with the leader, and then we're just going to kind of go down the list. Now you see there's kind of an empty slot here. That's why you see up here there's going to be the one of the unisons that we run, which is the Raditz Giant Force. That's kind of what you see is this little part here, because DBS decks for some odd reason doesn't have Raditz Giant Force image loaded into it. We'll just kind of go into TCG Player and then we'll show it to you. But let's start with Soul Striker. Now this is the promo Soul Striker, so this is Reboot Soul Striker. This is not the OG, I believe, what was that, the starter deck Soul Striker. So this is the promo, so it's more specific towards blue energy, hence the reason you see a lot of the blue. Or it's really a mono blue deck. The only thing that's not is going to be Zamasu and Son Goku Hit. And the whole reason that you use the Zamasu super combo is literally to rival out Son Goku and Hit. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start with kind of the most common blue right now, which is Baby Golden Avenger. Unique, which means you're only playing one on the board, so it might as well be an SCR. The only difference is you can have more than one in the deck. Triple Strike. Now the nice thing is this is a counter play or a counter. So first is the counter play. You play this card. If whatever they're playing is 7 or less, it goes back to their hand. So basically that's going to hit everything that's really being played. There's not very many cards out there that are 7s. I mean, the only ones that are really hitting 7s are your SCRs. Excuse me, that are over 7. Because this is 7 or less. So really anything that's over 7 you're looking at is really like SCRs and among those things. So this is really going to hit a lot of cards, a lot of battle cards. And then obviously the counter. I mean, this is great for, like, say if you do have this in a blue deck with Victory Strike, so Invoker. Or if you have it with the OG Victory Strike, you know, if you swing, they go to counterattack, you can counter it with Baby Golden Avenger. And then he has an auto skill down here, is that when this is played, you draw a card, then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of their deck. So if you use this as a counter play card, you're not only getting rid of whatever they're playing that's 7 or less. Say they do have an 8 drop out. His auto is now going to trigger, which means you can ignore barrier and pop it to the bottom of their deck. So this is ultimately board control and counterplay, so it's just really board control, and then the fact that it's able to allow your swings to go through to get you those victories. So I mean, it's a really good card, don't get me wrong, and that's kind of why when you look at the pricing, 3 of them's going for like $50. So I mean, it is a great counterplay, counter. The only thing I would say I don't like is honestly this 5 cost. But with blue, especially nowadays, ramp is so easy to play. So it's really easy to go ahead and get up to 5 and then play baby and then just keep going. All right, and now for this deck, there's running 3 of those. Kory believes that the balance on this deck, the 3 of them, works really well. He's top decked this a few times, and that's what's actually caused him to win against stuff like Greenza and Vejex. So he's able to win with top decking this every once in a while. And as long as he has a hand, I mean, this card has become really handy, and it's caused him to win. Let's go ahead and move on, though, to the 6-drop Man on a Mission. Really, all this is the fact that it's an Overwhelm, crit, double striker. You can get it out really easily. I mean, it's a free Overwhelm 6 that's going to bring out a double strike crit. So, I mean, the fact it's a 20k double striking, it's really hard to get around. And then if you sit here and Sensu Bean it a couple times, and super combo it, and then rival out Son Goku Hit, this guy becomes stupid. And the fact that he's going to take 2 life and that's not going to hand, this becomes very good. But the reason he's only running 2 is literally this is kind of made for that final TKO. So the Man on a Mission as well as Secret Identity Masked Saiyan, these 2 are really made for that final just I'm going to kill you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like say he's down to one, the person's down to 1 or 2 life. You just played Golden Avenger, or you played Baby Hatch, or you played Hit, and you've got him down. This is to just overwhelm it out, play it, and kill him and finish him off. Especially if you've ripped hand, or if you've done any of the number of things where it's just like, okay, I don't have to worry about you anymore. I can kill you. All right, moving on to the Intersecting Fates and Activate Main. So this Activate Main is obviously if you have a blue leader, which Son Goku Soul Striker is, look at the top 2 cards from your deck, add 1 from your hand, then place the remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order. At the end of your turn, you switch 1 mono blue energy to active mode. So basically, this is just to help your hand, so you can shift through your deck a little bit faster, get the cards you need out into your hand, and shuffle cards you don't want into the bottom of your deck, as well as frees up that energy for Dimension Magic, Sensu Bean, and just Ultra Instinct Kamehameha. So really, this is to free up for these 3 here and to rival out your hit, as well as shift through your hand. So say you have Zamasu but you don't have hit, you play Intersecting Fates, it gets you hit into your hand, or it gets any of these 3 out into your hand. It frees up that blue energy. Then say they swing at you, you super combo Zamasu, then you rival out Son Goku hit. All because you were able to still shift through your deck and get 1 card or 1 of your energy untapped. So you definitely want 4 in this, because this is definitely, keeping energy untapped for your turn, or for your opponent's turn, as well as the fact that it does shift through your deck and adds to your hand. So let's go ahead and go to Raditz Giant Force. This is the Raditz Giant Force. This is a draft box 6 card. As you see, it's a blocker and it's a unison. His auto is once per turn. When this activates blocker, switch it to active mode. So if this guy lives through the block, so say they swing with like a 10k, they don't combo up, it lives through the blocker, you switch it back to active mode. So it works really well. He's also a 3 cost, so he's automatically going to come in with 3 counters, so he can ult pretty quickly. His +0 is draw 1 card at the end of the turn, switch this card to active mode. So swing, +0 it, draw a card, and then this comes back to active mode, and you now have a blocker for the next turn to go ahead and TKO, or to block say a TKO, like a victory strike, or even if it's going to be like triple strike, like triple flashes or anything along those lines, or even block stuff like Baby Golden Avenger and Man on a Mission. This is there just in case, as well as it's going to pop them for at least a life if you can get them up there. It also opens you up to, again, going into that Zamasu hit combination. -2, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, return it to a hand, and your turn, switch one of your blue to active mode. Again, we're looking at the same concept as Intersecting Fates. The only difference is instead of adding to your hand with a -2, you're going to do board control. And now, mind you, this says choose one of your opponent's battle cards. This does not say ignores barrier. This also doesn't give you a specified energy cost. So ultimately, say they have Hachiyak out. You notice Hachiyak does not have barrier, which means this could be returned to hand using Raditz Giant Force Quick Activate Main here -2. It also switches one of your energy again to bring out, again, the same combination here. UI Kamehameha, D-Magic, Sensu Bean, and your hit. So that's why this is in there. That's also why he's only running 2. He's only running 2 mainly for the fact that this is right here, switching that 1 energy, or if he really needs to draw that card. At the same time, it's definitely making it so he can live because he's using this blocker ability, as well as he's getting a life taken away from his opponent. So that's right there. Now, as you can tell, he has 1 in sideboard over here. That's just in case maybe he needs that mana ramp a little more, or he needs more draw power. We can throw that into the deck with no issues. On to the next unison, we're going to go ahead and go into Baby Unknown Parasite. Now, he runs 3 of these. Now, obviously, if you've run any blue, Baby Unknown Parasite is a must-have almost in any blue deck. I've noticed it in almost every deck I've seen, every blue deck. And it's really just a great card. I mean, +2 activate main, draw card. Automatically, this is getting a crazy amount of draw power. He's getting up to 5 because he comes in with 3. Give him +2. He's not 5. Give him another +2, and he's going to be at 7, and you can activate his main, which is a -5. Leader's mono blue. You choose one of your leader cards. Give him +15k. So he's already going to sit at 30k with just Baby. And then you can activate mono blue cards with counter skills from your hand by choosing 2 other cards in your hand, discarding them instead of paying their energy cost. So, counter. So, baby becomes free. So, you see now where this is coming into play. This counter play, counter, now becomes really good. So, this baby is made to bring out any of these counters for basically free just by pitching 2 cards. So, your baby Hatchiyak SCR, your baby Golden Avenger, Heroic Prospect, God Sealing, which usually is free because you have baby already out there. Any of those counters now is basically a free play for pitching 2 cards, all for this -5. Really good unison, definitely run. I would probably tweak it to 4. Kory has seen that 3 is definitely a pretty good number. So running 3 or 4, I don't see a problem with. The ratios is kind of up to you on this one. But he definitely seen that the 3 is definitely helping him in the Soul Striker deck. On the next, Masked Saiyan, Secret Identity Masked Saiyan. Again, we're looking at the same concept as Man on Mission. This is going to be a quick Overwhelm 6, 25k beater. But at the same time, this is to handle stuff like a Booney. This can wipe just everything. I mean, this can wipe out all those lovely little tokens and a Booney at the same time. So, I mean, this is definitely a board clearer, easily helps you out. As well as, like I said, it's a quick 25k beat stick. All right, let's go into Heroic Prospect. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not thrilled with Heroic Prospect for the simple fact of, if you look right there, $160 for 4. I mean, I get it, it's a staple in blue, and it's really good, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the fact that this has inflated so much. But let's go ahead and go into it. Obviously, he's running 4. Counter attack, negate the attack. If you have a Unison card in play, this is now a 1-drop. And then when this is played, your opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy costs greater than their current energy unless they choose 2 cards in their hand and place at the bottom of their deck. Hand control, attacking control, everything that you're looking at, Heroic Prospect is going to do. And it's all for 1 because you're going to have baby or you're going to have Raditz sitting on that board. A very good counterattack. Don't get me wrong, I understand. I just don't like the inflated price. But it's a very good counterattack. And again, even if it's not 1 because, the permanent, it's still free because if you can -5 this baby, all of these. Now, that's not even a once per turn. This is until your next turn. All your counters are essentially free if you pitch 2 cards. So, Heroic Prospect, Baby, Golden Avenger, and Hatchiyak. All free. Alright, moving on. SCR. Again, you're looking at just... SCRs are just broken. It doesn't matter. There's a few I know that aren't that broken, but Baby Hatchiyak's pretty good. The fact it's a counterattack, I don't think I've seen an SCR that's a counterattack. I've seen Activate Battles. I've seen any number of SCRs. I don't think I've seen a counterattack SCR yet. So this is actually really good. And the fact that if it's 3 or more energy, negate the attack, then play this card, your opponent can't attack for the turn. So this essentially negates Unison attacks, Leader attacks, and Battle card attacks. Permanent, if this would be removed from the battle area, removed from the game instead. And if you have mono blue, you choose 1 other card in your hand, discard it, instead of paying its energy cost and activate the counter skill from hand. So, you have 3 blue energy, so turn 3, Baby Hatchiyak's probably going to come out. To counter attack, you just pitch 1 card, here comes Baby. So again, either free for 2 or free for 1. Either way, you're looking at Baby Hatchiyak's coming out turn 3. And the fact it's, 40k, just really good. I mean, and the fact that you're negating your opponent from attacking and essentially killing you on turn 3 through 5, this becomes really broken and really helpful. Super combos, we're looking at Zamasu. You use Zamasu because you're going to get out this lovely little Son Goku hit, which is the simple fact that you're going to swing with him, activate battle, and restand him and swing with him again, or restand him and use him as a blocker for the next turn. So very much a survival card, just like your Raditz is a survival card. It definitely helps you kind of continue the game, as well as live through the next turn, just like Baby Hatchiyak, Baby, and all your counters. So you notice right here you're looking at basically your defense, and that's kind of where we're going into is the defensive part of this deck, because I mean your real attack is up here. Secret Identity Masked Saiyan, Baby Unknown Parasite, Raditz, Man on Mission, Baby Golden Avenger, and Baby Hatchiyak. That is your power. That is where you kill your opponent. This is so that you can live to get to turns 3 through 5 in order to do these guys right here. So that's what he's for. Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, again, survival card. If it's your turn, draw a card. If it's your opponent's turn, you restain a blue energy. Again, you're looking at, restaining it for Dimension Magic, Sensu Bean, God Sealing, Heroic Prospect, any number of these cards here. So that's what you're looking at here. And you're giving your leader plus 15k. So, and obviously all your energy is going to be blue. You don't use yellow for any of your energy because you don't need it. Dimension Magic, Sensu Bean, God Sealing Technique. Obviously, those are very much standard in every blue deck. I mean, like these 4 cards here are pretty much your standard blue cards. Dimension Magic, Sparkling 5 counterattack for free, and then you switch 2 energy to active mode. Sensu Bean, obviously activate battle, give it plus 5k, untap 2 energy. God Sealing being free because of Baby here, and the fact that it's a counterplay. So again, this is your defense right here. And this counterplay does not have a specific energy cost, so you can counterplay stuff like the 8 drops. So you have Baby Golden Avenger for counterplays of anything 7 or less. You have God Sealing Technique for anything higher. So again, your defense here. Barrier of Hope, again, we're looking at defense. Activate battles. You can do it without paying its energy cost. Give it plus 5k. If you want to go ahead and use it for its activate main, again, you're looking at board control, where you're going to choose one of their battle cards, ignore barrier, return it to their hand, and then you get to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to increase my hand size, effectively getting any number of these guys out, getting more defense if I need it, as well as just go ahead and board control it. Again, Android 18, we're looking at that draw 2 power, 3 drop, draw 2, but at the same time, run 2 because you can ultimately use that for energy. American Brave Bruiser, this is really just fun. The fact that's a double strike dual attack, so you can use a couple of these for obviously your energy, but at the same time, activate main. If it's a battle card, he's now becoming a 25k dual attack double striker. This is just really evil, really helpful, especially against those really aggro decks that they just run battle cards galore. This becomes helpful, as well as the simple fact, again, you can use it for energy. And the fact that we're only getting to about, I believe most of the meta, especially with this last PPG, is running to at the latest turn 5. You can use 2 of these for energy, 1 of these for energy, Barrier of Hope, and so on, and you keep a lot of your main deck stayed into your hand that you can play and kill people. That is the main deck. As you can see, it's really good. I mean, it can become super aggro really fast, but at the same time, it has enough defense that you can definitely survive through a turn 3 through 5 TKO. This defense mechanism is really for those turns 3 through 5 killers, such as, Yellow Apes, or Vegeks, or any number of decks in the meta that's just swinging a lot. That's where you're looking at this defense here. Now looking at the side deck, obviously this is not complete. It's not 15. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is not the complete side deck. I believe he's wanting to drop 1 Abuni for the side deck and add 2 more cards. But this is kind of what you're looking at. So if you need more draw power or energy, more defense, obviously, again, more attack power. That Raditz, as I stated earlier, a 1 of. Self-Awakening, Vegeta, so if you need to awaken a little faster, here you go. And then the Frieza, again, defense. If you're seeing that you need defense and more, you're getting a basically revival defense here with blockers. So that's kind of where he's looking for Universe 7. So, I mean, for the most part, this blue deck is not as aggro as probably you would see, because it does have a good defensive stay, but at the same time, I mean, this thing can swing and hit hard and fast if it needs to. And ultimately, that is Kory's Soul Striker deck. That's really what we're looking at. This is kind of where he's looking at a rogue, kind of almost meta, and that's really where you're wanting to look at. So, that is the deck. Now, if you guys have maybe a comment, question, or concern, or if you think this can be tweaked a little bit, leave that in the comments down below. If you guys like what you saw, go ahead and leave a comment, hit that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next video next week. Next week's going to be a little different. We're probably going to actually have the team together doing the team meeting, and we're going to go ahead and do kind of how to show you kind of how we do deck tweaks as well as just deck building in general as a team. So that's what you guys can expect next week. And until then, stay addicted to TCG, guys. Be safe.